Welcome to the Everyday Sniper. You got Frank at Sniper's Hide. Nope. I was gonna say, damn, they broke that permission. Then one of these, it was a permission week for us. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Getting up, getting in. Got my morning coffee. Enjoying that with my Americano. Make a homemade Americano here. Grind my own beans, kind of thing. Sunday morning coffee. Couple housekeeping things to get through, and every day, guys. I got you every day, guys, on this Sunday morning. Gonna let you hear my live and go from that. I did that the other day because I was just so busy. Book things. I had to do chapters and pages for pictures, so I was doing that all week and doing that. So I was like, I meant to do a dedicated everyday sniper podcast for the podcast people, but then I got behind and had to do some stuff, plus the move and some different things that are going on with that. But happy Sunday morning, not so Super Bowl, right? We are, lack of a better word, we're going to boycott the Super Bowl um, today. So I don't want to give them any attention. And we'll watch the other thing just to bump their numbers up. The Turning Point halftime show. Watch Kid Rock. I like Kid Rock. When Kid Rock came out, I had all the Kid Rock shit. Ball to the ball, ball to the ball. You get a mic in your face, and it's like you want to sing, but my voice. You guys, like, my voice is so bad, and my nose is like messed up, like it was graveling, like it was doing the sound, and I was gonna stick it to the mic and like breathe into it so you can hear it like rattling in my nose, but I decided against it. But I was gonna sing this morning, but I'm not really gonna sing. I'm not interested in it. So everybody's like, yeah, no singing. Cause I had the Lazy Mary song in my head, and then I had another one. Couple movie things. We went and we watched Predator Badlands. Predator Badlands, torn. Little bit torn. I think it's a good entry in the Predator franchise. I think it's a nice little tie it together, reset. Where can we go with this group? But they humanized the Predator. He was a runt, and then he was with the girl, and they made it too much like, might as well have been one of us. You know what I mean? You might as well have taken like the big Jack Reacher dude and dropped him on the planet and just gave him some tools, and it would have been kind of the same. Because when you got the Predator, who's no bigger than a human, it didn't, and they really did sort of humanize him a bit. It was very similar, but the planet was cool. I liked the little attempt at the twist in the storyline. There was some neat stuff, and it had a lot of cool effects. Like the animals moved really well. Um I think it's another layer in where movies can go for effects and not look awful, right? So you could have what would sort of be the Predator movie looking really good. But that was a weird one. The one you want to see, and it's kind of popping around free, is Bugonia, the pink glasses Civil War guy. Morning, Wendell. How are you? Doing well. Everybody's doing well. Dedicating this one this morning to Laura. Her shoulders busted, her knees busted. Like, we both of us have to go into the VA this week. I gotta go get my nose and things looked at, and so I could breathe. My one side of my nose doesn't work, and I need to breathe. So I'm going in the VA this week for that. She's got to go in and get a whole bunch of stuff done, but in the middle of the move now, it's like, ah, we're getting that every bit closer to this move, and yeah, she's got to go into the VA, so she's in there. And then she tore something in her foot at SHOT Show, and it's gotten progressively worse. Top of her foot, a connecting tendon, and it's swollen and up. Morning. Morning, and it's swollen up, so she can't really walk too well. So she's falling apart. She's broken. So I'm gonna dedicate this to her because we're not gonna watch the Super Bowl today. We'll watch, like I said, we'll watch some Kid Rock or something else. We watched the race. Um, we use Amazon Prime a lot, and last night, and we've been watching on Paramount UFC on Saturday night. Couple UFC fights, not too bad. Well, I was going to pop in to the Prime or to see the UFC fight, and Flow Racing was up. Morning. Um, so Flow Racing popped up, and we watched the races from New Smyrna and things like that. And they were good race. Jade won. I'm not gonna even try her last name, but up and coming Toyota driver Jade, she won her race fast. That girl was fast. And so she got a really long last name, and I'm not even gonna try it. But yeah, we watched that on Prime and everything. So that was like our movie. And then we did watch the end of the final bout for UFC. It wasn't good. They weren't good fighters. The one guy was okay. The other guy laid on his back the whole time and didn't do much. So got to get ready to pack everything. Been looking at podcast studio setup ideas and things because when I do move, I'll have that new L-shaped basement room, lot of room. This, like I said, this is the smallest room in the house. And so was watching the walkthroughs because I haven't been there yet. Laura did. But I'm watching the walkthroughs, and I was looking at the podcast room ideas and things like the ideas, and looking at things like that. I'm going to be able to probably double set it. So straight forward from the short end of the L, come the short end of the L, go straight forward. I could put a set there. Then it turns um and goes long to a bigger area, a bigger square, and I'm gonna do the main set there. Morning, Phil, or Phil. Morning, Paul. I see Paul Phillips and saw Phil. My dyslexia went backwards. Big day, Wendell. We're gonna move. First week we start. We're gonna bring in the movers of March. We go this weekend, coming weekend, week from today. We're going to go up to, ready for this? We're doing this because we have to go next week to pick up the keys. But we're picking up the keys on Monday morning, right? The 16th. But Sunday's the Daytona 500. So we're going to go up on Saturday and spend the night, watch the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Then we'll get up Monday morning and go pick up our keys. And then from there, I'm going to try to do a few things. So I get my keys a week from tomorrow, Monday. So 7 days we pick up the keys. We don't plan. And then, like I said, Laura's got shoulder and a knee surgery and some things. And I got a VA thing. I got 2 VAs. I have them in I have them in my calendar as vampires. So I have like a VA thing. It's pretty funny. The lady's like, "What day would you like to come?" I'm like, "Are they vampiring me?" So I have it as VA bloodsuckers because I have to go get all kinds of things done, and they stick a lot of needles in me. So and so I got her under blood. I'm like, "Am I going for blood sucking?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, VA bloodsuckers." So it's gonna throw the date off a little bit. Top of the morning, Justin. It's gonna throw the date, but we plan on first week of March. Not so much March 1st because we have a thing, but first week of March we're gonna have the movers come and move the house. So this is gonna get moved first week of March and go. Then Laura's gonna set that up. We're gonna go try to get some new furniture we need. The house is different enough and set up weird. I'm gonna need furniture and to move some stuff around. And so we're gonna grab some furniture while we're there, and we'll order that and have that delivered. We'll have this stuff sent out March 1st, so it's coming, less than 30 days. And then I have to tie up some things here, and I figure I'll be 100% moved, or the best part of it, by April 1st. It will be my goal to be out of Colorado without any real reason to come back. If I have to come back because of the range Connex box, I'm going to move the range into the Connex box. Then the Connex box is going to get shipped to Missouri and will get dropped off at the range in Missouri. They got a little spot that I can put my smaller Connex box, and I will have all my steel and stuff from Fort Morgan brought to Missouri via Connex. And so that's the plan for that. But yeah, we there are some things we're looking at. The Content Creator Network. Talk TheHide too. Like I said, a little bit of housekeeping on TheHide. They did that update to the PX and it broke a bunch of permissions. So I had them reset it this week because too many of your accounts were broken. It should be fixed now. I had them go back in time, remove the update, change the PX way of doing, and so get rid of that bump thing they did. Part of it was, and it's funny too because a lot of guys got really ugly and were freaking jerks. So I was a jerk back, and somebody was asking me like, "Hey man, you're like Jekyll and Hyde. Like we watch you and you're fine, but then when you come in the forum, you're like fuck you and chewing everybody out and banning people and just like, my way or the highway." And it's like, "Yeah, the forum's a community in a way, and I have to run that. The inmates will run the asylum if you don't let them. And you can get enough people figure out if I squawk loud enough, he'll change it." And sometimes it'll be like, "Okay, I get your point. We'll make that better and we'll change it." Well, then you give them the inch, they take the mile. It's the internet, it's behind the computer. Guys say a lot of really ugly stuff, even back to me, PMs. I mean, even like the subscriptions. You sign up for the subscription, it's a reoccurring subscription like Netflix. It honestly is right now no different than your Netflix account. You'll sign up to sell something, you'll sell it, and you'll move on down the road. You don't cancel it. Then 9 months later, you send me hate mail. "Cancel this. I don't want it. I didn't want it. I didn't this." And I'm like, "I didn't do it. We didn't add that for you. I didn't go, you need this, and automatically put it into your account. You signed up for the supporter account." And like many things, we move on, we change, we don't use it. Don't get offended at me. A guy, I literally, yesterday, Friday, we'll call it. I literally got an email. They wanted a year refund. Refund my year. I didn't use it. What? Go to PayPal or whatever and tell them you didn't use this for a year and you want all your money back. Cuz they don't go for that. They rule in my favor when it's like he just forgot, he's mad, and now he wants a refund. They go, "Okay, no, that's your fault." But I get endless amount of hate mail because you don't want the $20 a month charged anymore. Now, sometimes there is a disconnect in some of the people who are kind of still on that system. Basically, if you're still on that system, you probably have an issue. And it's an email issue I can't fix. You have to do it. You have a reoccurring subscription manager in that account on PayPal. If you're still on PayPal, go cancel it right now. I don't want it. Don't We're not using it. It's there. We have to manually make it work for you at times. If you're using PayPal with my site, cancel it right now. Just cancel it. I can't. I can't go in anymore. PayPal changed the rules. I used to be able to go in and manage it for you. I can refund you. I can cancel it. I can do several things that I can't anymore. All I can do is refund it. I can't cancel it on my end if it's disconnected. Like if I go into the site and cancel, like you went in and hit cancel, and it's still charging you on PayPal, it's a hiccup and a disconnect in the software handshake. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's just the handshake hiccuped. Or it's an email. You have two different emails. You're using one email for PayPal and you used another email for the site. That's usually the problem. But there are a certain amount, thousands of people over the years signed up in various ways while the site moved, right? We changed software. So we took this list and shoved it into this. Then we took this list and shoved it into that. Sometimes it breaks the account. Like the handshakes aren't perfect. So we put up warnings, we put up labels. If you're on this system, cancel it. We moved. But the hate mail I get is crazy. And so, morning, Robbie. So I go on and I'm to the point. I'm short. I'm direct. There's no interpretation when I'm posting. Everybody says there's that nuance lost in a text message. There's different things lost in the written word versus spoken. So when I write 25 years of internet fights, 25 years of the Sniper's Hide forum, I'm very direct when I want to be direct because I don't want some jerk, and they do it all the time. Tom Hanks, big. I don't get it. If you're kind of like, gee, guys, I'm trying to be nice. Let's try to do this and don't do that. And if you go over and, I don't get it. Why do I got to listen to you and do that? It's like, really, got that scammer bait. Don't if you post that, the scammers are going to show up like sharks and surround you. Then you're going to get taken because you can't resist the deal they're going to offer you, and you're going to cry to me that you got scammed. And I told you 4 times, please don't do that. But you know better than me and you did it. And now you're scammed and you're mad at me. And you want me to refund you or me to make you whole. Like, no. But what I do is I put tools in place. And for a new member, you can't send a private message because scammers use the private message system. And generally speaking, if a scammer is posting, we catch them around 12 to 15 posts. Some of them lately, 3 to 5. But 12 to 15 posts is our average to catch a scammer. Now, if we let them in the private message system, many of you guys don't report it. Hey, my buddy has that. He'll sell it to you cheap. Email him here. Whoa, deal. What I'm looking for. His buddy got it. No, his buddy doesn't have it. His buddy's a scammer. He's going to take your money. So that's why we tell you don't do that. And if they pop into your PMs, your private messages, I can't see it. I don't read any of your private stuff. The old site, 3 versions back, would let me log in as you, and you wouldn't know it. This software, I don't do that. It doesn't let me do that. I can log in as you, but I have to change your password. And I can, but I don't. And so how do you know I'm not messing around? Did you ever show up and your passwords changed? No, I don't do that. Now, hackers can get in from old hacks. We just got it. Somebody had their old account, and I'm repairing some of these because people are seeing all the media we're putting on. They want to come back. We absolutely can recover your account. If they changed your email, because that's what'll happen. You'll have your email associated to a password that got hacked somewhere else. So then they log in as you, change your email and your password, but then use your account because you have the credit, you have whatever. So we can recover those. So, and I'm going in and recovering some old accounts. We can come in, but I need the username because odds are they changed your email. But give me both. Don't just give me a single piece of information. Give me multiple pieces of information. Your username, your email, I could fix it. No problem. But yeah, it's just crazy that the people like we're trying to do this, we're trying to fix it. So I brought the PX back in time because it broke some permissions. It broke my permissions, and so that's part of it. We're trying to improve the site. We're trying to do, hey, Jimmy, morning. Morning, everyone. Morning, Laura. I'm dedicating this podcast to Laura this morning. She's got busted shoulder, busted knee, all kinds of broken stuff. She got to go in for like three VA trips for her. That's one too many. One too many for Laura there, but yeah. So that's all, guys. Just trying to make sure you understand we're updating the site. I mean, even like I mentioned, what we're seeing now this morning, I'm beta testing right now. App High TV for Realms. Hit this guy, fires up, right? Welcome to the High TV. Look at that shit. Boom, popping in. Oh, there's me live. Right? Me watching me. It's like a mirror. That's coming, right? The apps are coming. And so, morning, Jimmy. So yeah, like I'm gonna have the app out. So and this will beam to your TV. So you can, if you've got a television in your reloading room, you got anything like that, hit a button, boom, going right to that. But yeah, apps are up and working. So we're doing stuff. The odds of us breaking something, and trust me, the permission break was minor. It was permissions. They got out of sort. We're going to break stuff because we're working on stuff. We're trying to make this better, right? So the app is coming. So that the app is coming to do this. So that's why the new studio, because video is going to be a thing. The forum, I'm trying to upgrade the forum so it runs better. It's a little bit more I don't like the PX for you guys is our biggest point of reporting now. I mean, other than the hurt feelings in the bear pit because you insulted someone, which it's the bear pit. I'm not settling arguments between grown men. You have an ignore button. Hit the ignore button. Ignore. I don't like that guy. Cool. Ignore him. One button. I don't like that guy. Ignore him. That's it. Right? Super easy. Morning, morning. So I'm not going to settle those fights. Now, if you're threatening, because it's politics in the bear pit a lot. If you're threatening something or somebody says, hey, man, he's crossing the line talking about going to someplace and doing something stupid. One, the eye in the sky is going to see you and they're going to call me and be like, give me freaking Bob's shit. Be like, all right, Bob crossed the line, gonna get a knock on the door because he said something stupid on the internet. Yeah, Bob, they watch, they're there, they're seeing what you say. And I'll get a subpoena for Bob's IP and Bob's address and Bob's email. And here you go, Eye in Sky, our AI overlords, right? A minion will come out and be like, hey, Frank, Bob crossed the line. Yeah, I saw it. And so Bob will get taxed. But other than that, It's the PX. Who bumped? Who bumped early? Who bumped too often? Who can't do this? He bumped on top of me. Honestly, the reports in the PX boiled down to you guys trying to get an advantage over the other guy. That's it. I'm selling my stuff. I need an advantage over the other guy. I'm going to report Bob because he bumped his post at 48 or 40 hours, not 48 hours. So I'm going to report Bob because Bob bumped his post over mine. Look at Bob. That's 90% of the PX reports. You trying to get an advantage over your competition. And so we were trying to find a solution that was a hands-off solution. Our tools are limited. So it broke. We fixed it. You guys had drama, gave me headaches, text messages. I get it. It was broken. That's on us. We charge you money for it. But you don't have to be a jerk about it. Right? You don't have to be a jerk. We didn't do it to you on purpose. So this week was a lot of hate mail. This week was a lot of putting out fires in between the other stuff. I don't remember. Did Wednesday we went and shot pistol this week with Chris? I went and shot the pistol. The SAR, and we enjoyed it. We shot the SAR 9. They're 724. I can't show anything because I'm on live. But gun wise, I meant to tell you guys, I posted a video up on the SAR USA 724. It's their CZ Shadow copy. Turkey gun, CZ Shadow design. We really liked it. It's $1,000 gun, which I do believe a CZ Shadow is a lot more. I want to say they're $1,500 to $1,800 for a Shadow. Maybe 13 if you know somebody, I believe. So you're saving, let's call it $350 to $500 on the SAR 9mm over the CZ version. G10 handles, optics ready with the plates. It came with all the different plates, like 4 variants on the plates for your optic. I have an RMR that was free because I'm putting my Mars on my Night Force field spotter. I'm going to run the Mars on the field spotter, and then I'm going to run the Maztec X4 on my rifle. So the Mars is going on the spotter, so I took my red dot off. I could do both, but I'm just, and so I can move that red dot to that SAR to try it and bring you through. But we did an unboxing video. It's up on TheHide TV right there. And so you could check out the SAR. It was funny. Chris got yelled at on the internet because he didn't have glasses on. And Chris shot paper the entire time. Chris shoots paper. We went to Green Mill and very little steel. They had one plate rack, and then they have a 3-foot pepper popper that's angled like so crazy and laying on the ground, and it's permanent. It doesn't even pop. It's just permanent on a crazy angle. And we were talking about how flat the SAR shoots. It's like a Canic and like any of those others. They lower the barrel profile and all those. And so we're shooting it, and Chris is so much better, bigger on shooting a handgun. I get flip. I'm not a great pistol arrow. I can hit well, but my nose, I don't look pretty when I shoot a pistol because my hands are small. And so for some of that video in the speed shooting, I filmed Chris. Well, Chris was shooting paper the whole time. We were like, Green Mill, he can walk to it. His house is that close. And we were just dicking around with handgun. It was like, we don't shoot handgun enough. We got this. Let's shoot handgun. And he went to do a mag dump. Like, he did it on paper, did it on paper. I said, "Oh, just do a mag dump and let me film it." And he like stepped back and rotated to the paper popper to do a mag change and shoot the paper. And he literally did 2 takes and 2 mags. And it was like 10 and 5. So really 1 mag. And so he did 10, reload 5. And he's pop, 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 done. Holy cow, man. People are like, that guy's gonna go blind. And I'm like, whoa. 1, he's 25 yards away. 2, the pepper popper's on the ground like that. And it's small. The plate rack in the video I shot, that was me. You could tell because it's slow cadence. Ba-dink, 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 ba-dink. That's how I shoot. I don't go dink, 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 dink. I don't do that. I go ba-dink, ba-dink. Because I got to recover a second. It takes me a second because I go, I do that. I got weak wrists. I'm like a little girl. And so anyway, so yeah, so I put the video up on the SAR. They're a really nice pistol that way for a little bit less money. I saw ad in Gun Digest for the SOCOM version, and they build a nice pistol, man. I don't know what, So I'm gonna do a video on that. We have some other videos to do. The weather's been nice. We were able to get out and just shoot. It was a little chillier in person than it was, but yeah, that we're doing a little bit more and trying to get a little bit more well-rounded. I'm going to be, like I said, the content creator network, we're going to really push in the next 6 months. I talked to them about bringing in and recruiting people. We're going to start going online, finding you guys that have a message and bringing on some content creator stuff for people. So that's our next push. And along with that push, Chris Roberts, CR2, is doing that purpose-built media series. And what it is some instructional video on shooting video for gun media. And Roberts has taken classes, is doing media. He's doing media for people like Grunt Style. So he's doing some really good media out there. You'll see like a lot of them, like Phil Vallejo. He took classes. Look at Phil's media. It's very good now. They took a class. Chris Roberts, his media for CR2, very good. He took a class. So because I'm moving, because of the things going on with me, and I'm not going to be as consistent in the next weeks until I'm moved and the studio is built. My consistency is going to waver. And so we're trying to push these other programs, and Chris Roberts is doing purpose-built media. And it's an 8-part series on Hide TV on how to shoot video for guns. Easy. 3-minute, 5-minute videos, how to use simple tools, and to get you up and running. So if you want to create a channel, if you want to use video to put your point across instead of typing it, right? Because now guys will type a book, right? Hey, let's type all this out. Well, really, because of this, all you got to do is talk to it and then upload it. And like TheHide, right now, this live, I just went on the homepage of Hide TV. My logged in, I have a little plus, right? So here I'm on the app, right? So I'll even pop in Hide TV app. I pull it up. I got that. If I just go to the little plus right at the top, I'm ready to go live. Boom, and I can go live with you guys that way. All I got to do is hit it, view streaming guide, channel that, view stream, and that big button is go live. So that's where things are headed. That's where media's headed. That's where our industry's headed. Where The articles are backing up what we're saying. The articles are the math, the formulas, the specs, right? What are those specs? Well, I'll write those down. What's the math? Well, I'll write that down. But the message, we can talk to each other. And that's where we're going and why I partnered with Chris Roberts to do purpose built media. So it's an instruction package. They're very short lessons. They don't take long, but how to get up and running, because we want you to post your message on the Hide TV. We want you to do video. Hey, look what I saw. Hey, look what I'm doing. Hey, look what I just got. And put your message up. And so that's where we're at with all of this. I'm keyed in, like I'm using one program right now. I got everybody on Facebook, right? We got Jimmy, Laura, and all those guys are over at Facebook. And then we got I don't know who F Man is, but 450 F Man here, he's on YouTube. And I can see him. Over here I got Robbie's on TheHide. So I got X covered. I got Facebook covered. I got YouTube covered, and I got Hide TV covered. All from a single go live now. And the only thing I'm doing different is I'm recording for the Everyday Sniper podcast. So that's recording this on the backside on its own. So you everyday guys, I know this is kind of computer and wonky, but it's the direction we're going. And the other thing, Hide TV does have the podcasts on there. You can create your own podcast. You can create your own vlog for your podcast. You can create your own courses, lessons, and channels where you can get paid. The Craft Quick Wind. Oh, I see it. Okay, Scar, gotcha. I see it. He's saying my username's wrong. But you can go and record this. So you can do these things yourself and hit all these places from our equipment, our software. So we built this for you guys to use it, and we're going to recruit gun tuber type people to use this, or somebody who wants to be somebody with a message to use this. And it's free. We're not charging. Apps are expensive, right? That over 100 grand on the Hide TV app. This initial Sniper's Hide, 60 grand. You know what I mean? The apps are super expensive. And so without you having to build your own, you can create a channel on mine and then just set up your page for your channel. And then you can recruit your own people, do your own thing, and then have an audience. My lives through TheHide, I get about 150 people in the social media, maybe 200, right? TheHide, there's 1,000 more on. So if you look at, I'm like 1,200, 1,500 for the first day of this live when you go to TheHide and look at it, because it's a captured audience. So what you see on social media could be light or smallish in audience. Oh, he's only got 110 people watching. Yeah, but I got another 1,000 on TheHide watching it. And so that's the difference. And it works. Morning, Bobby. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's displaying everybody. Morning, Vince. But yeah, so these are tools that I want you guys to use. These are where we're doing, and we're trying to create a better experience in the forum. And so that's where we broke the permissions this week, trying to create a better experience for people, trying to make it where it's not, he bumped early, he bumped early, he bumped early, he bumped too often and early, he bumped twice and early. And because that's every day, he bumped early. And that's what we're trying to fix. But I'm not like when you see me posting and shutting people down in the forum, that's a much different thing. Usually the ones that I'm really short with, the ones that I'm really like, fuck off. There's a reason. They're pokers. Bert G's a poker. They're pokers. You know what I mean? They poke. Hey, hey, it's Bart Simpson. Ouch. 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 Don't do that. Ouch. Don't do that. Ouch. Don't do that. Ouch. Don't do that. And that's what it is. So then it's like, fuck off. I hate you. Don't do it. You're out. Because they do. They test. And something might have happened on the backside. And then on the front, they test you with it. And you're like, that guy didn't say anything crazy. Why is Frank mad at him? Because there was a conversation you didn't see, and he's throwing something back. What do you think about it? Oh, cool. John. John's in here asking a question. All right, John. Thanks for this, because I was just looking at this. John just asked me a question. What do you think about a 12.5 300 PRC barrel? John, I was just looking at this. Why would you not do a 338 arc? They have a 338 arc specifically designed. I want a Q in 338 arc. They're using 338 for that, not 300 PRC. 300 PRC is too much powder, John. You're not going to burn it. 338 arc is little bitty powder. You're going to burn it. And it's made for exactly what you're asking. You want to shoot an animal or shoot something big, so you're thinking 300 PRC. But you want a little bitty gun at 12.5. That's going to be a flamethrower because it's bigger than the friggin' barrel, the cartridge. But 338 arc, 8.6 blackout. Those are viable in a shorty. Whoa. I literally yesterday was just like in my head in the 338 arc. And I'm like, as soon as I move, I'm building a shorty 338 arc. Right? What do you tell me, John? Post where, give me a note as to why you think 300 PRC in a 12.5-inch barrel. What are you looking to accomplish? Like, do you think it'll shoot farther than a blackout and still kill something in a shorty package? Or are you thinking I need that oomph to kill something close? So give me your rationale, because I'm totally was just yesterday. My head was in a 14-inch or shorter AR. And I was even thinking, I'm like doing it. I'm in the book. I'm looking at 338 arc, and I'm going 12.5 barrel or something. And I'm thinking my harvester. I have a 338 harvester. Oh, arc. All right. A 3. Is there? Oh, I didn't see PRC. I'm sorry. Oh, is there? So necking down a 338 arc. Okay, I see. I wrote it wrong. Not 300 PRC. Arc. I'm sorry, John. I read that wrong. That was my Eldon. Hey, man. Missouri's in the house. I'll be Missouri soon. I'm sorry, man. I read that wrong. 300 arc. So you're saying neck down a 338 to a 300? Is that what you're thinking? Because that's fine too. I would do that. If you're saying necking it down, um, is that what he's saying, Lance? Is that what is? John was asking about 300 arc. Yeah. No, if you're in the arc world, I don't know why. I saw 300 and my brain put PRC in there. Early morning, I've only got half the. Yes, then, yes, I would do that. And I'm sure there's still issues with all that. That stuff will come out. Yes, I would do that then, John. I don't see a reason why a 300 arc wouldn't be cool. And I love an arc platform, and to go a little bit lighter and to be able to balance the super sub where you want to be. What John's saying, correcting me, or Lance rather, Lance correcting me. Yes, I don't. I would try it. And especially if they're saying there's some issues with the 338 arc. What are they saying the issues are? Because I didn't see anything issue-y. I mean, I know Q does the 8.6 in the 8.6 blackout, but I was hoping to go 338 arc because of the availability of ammo. You know what I mean? But yes, I do like the idea of a 300 arc with that balance of the speed right on the edge and tuning it weight wise to be right on that edge. Feeding? Okay, I could see that. Feeding's different than bullet, but in a way. Yes, Bobby, we're gonna have courses in Missouri. I spoke to Mark. Yeah, I would do that. I would well, that's an 8.6. I mean, what's the 8.6 blackout? How is his numbers looking compared to the 300 blackout? And then I would bet you could absolutely balance like you want to, and I'm all for that wildcatting that to solve a problem. Oh, yeah, that's, and once you get a dedicated mag, so you're talking about mag issues because people aren't. Yeah, I could see that, and again, mags are a thing, absolutely. Like I even when I was playing with the 6 arc and the Valkyries, and I put my Valkyrie in my I took a metal 6 arc mag. I filed the feed lips down a little bit shorter and ran my Valkyrie out of a 6 arc mag that was modified. That I basically broke a 6 arc metal mag to get my Valkyrie to run flawless out of it. So I totally get mags and feeding issues and things. That and with a big bullet, I mean, I would want to look at what Q's doing because I think Q led the way on that 338 blackout, 338 arc. I was supposed to be getting, and I can talk because I get a random text, but I was supposed to be getting B&T's blackout, but I believe that's a bolt gun. Their B&T has one. Um, MDT mags in the Valkyrie with the new oh, you're talking a gas gun. Your Valkyrie doesn't feed right. I use 8.6 metal mags in my JP, and it feeds flawless for my Valkyrie. And then in the bolt gun, my Valkyrie runs on MDT Valkyrie mags. Once they changed the follower, they're flawless. Your gasser? Yeah, I use the Grendel mags. They work good. The metal ones. You got to use the metal the same Grendel people. That one runs no problem in my JP. And so, but my Valkyrie, I'm retiring the Valkyrie. I'm doing the arcs now. And so I'm retiring my Valkyrie. And but yes, I'm very, very interested in the 8.6 blackout, the 338 arc. I was studying it yesterday. I want to get a the blue and black one. Oh, gotcha. Um, the I want to get a short 338 8.6, and I want to go that route. But I do think, John, you're absolutely onto something that you can do a 300 grain bullet in the arc. And I'm sorry I read that wrong. My brain just saw PRC. It absolutely just saw PRC. Oh, yeah. Rust is talking about a stream. But yeah, this pretty soon, you guys, like the guys who just popped in, what I was showing them is this is the Hide TV app. The guys on the Hide just showed up, bunch of them. Right here. ITV app is coming. Boom, fire it up, and there you'll have it. So you guys that are on Hide TV over there, the app's on the way. But yes, I could totally see. I really like that idea of that 338 in that shorty package. If you can balance, and it may even be a thing with changing up the powder too. You know what I mean? Maybe you got to play around with a powder and just nudge it a little bit to get a little bit more burn, or slow it down a little and give yourself a little bit more barrel, like a 14-incher, and then see. But I bet you with a 300 neck down to that 338, you can do some fun stuff with that and be on the edge of super sub to push it out a little bit. Even it would probably do some morning, baby. You get to come say hi. Everybody's that was asking about morning. But yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a good direction, because light is right in some ways, right? Light is right, and so if you, I mean, maybe bring a 338 bullet down to its lightest point, right, and then see what you can get with it that way. But I can't see not working in a really kind of cool way with a 300 grain bullet neck down into the 338 arc system. I can absolutely see that being cool. And you know, one of the things, like my cousin down in Florida, and he did it. I haven't talked to him too much about it, but with the 300 blackout, Tubbs nose ring tool works really well with that. So for ELR, the nose ring tool, they do about 10,000s cut in the just below the me plat of the bullet there. So you'll take David, and you could do it with a loaded bullet. You'll take David Tubbs' nose ring tool, put it in a cordless drill, then take your ELR bullet, put it in, score it about 10,000s deep, just below your me plat. As the bullet's shooting long distance and the bullet's going, as it starts to head towards supersonic, transonic, subsonic. So think of your shockwave supersonic, then it starts going down to transonic, and then it goes behind and it's subsonic, right? So that's how your shockwave moves down the length of the bullet. It's like super at the tip, starts to go down in the middle a bit, and it's trans, and then that's when it gets near the back and it tips some bullets and it tumbles, then sub, right? Or it goes down and then you're subsonic. So you were supersonic, then you're subsonic, right? Super, sub, super, sub. So you're shooting that, and you score the ELR bullet at 10,000s with a tub nose ring. As that shockwave is going down your bullet, it reaches the nose ring line. It's a ledge, and it hangs on the ledge. I'm going to hang on the ledge for a second, thus giving you a little bit more predictability until it goes subsonic, where when it goes subsonic, you begin to lose your predictability. Then it becomes bullet design to keep your predictability from super to sub, right? 168, old angle, tips and goes, right? Bad. So now, blackout guys, your arc guys. So John, Justin, and those guys, you take a tub nose ring tool, you go 50,000s in the blackout. When it hits, it detonates. It's like a plunger. So it's the plunger on a mine. It's going to break, go through, and explode. So it's going to break and blow the bullet out. So that 50 thousandths, when it hits something, pig, it's going to break. Then it's going to go inside the back of the bullet that's following it. And when it separates the back of the bullet, it's going to pop inside the pig. So if you want to get an advantage in that subsonic world, David Tubbs' nose ring tool. That will give you the advantage. And I'm not sure what distance they're talking, like not Lance, John. John, what distance are you thinking you want to extend to? Like to get to 300 instead of being inside 100? Is that what you're thinking? To like own 3 and in versus own 100 and in? So I'm guessing he wants to be within 300, but I don't know. He'd have to tell me what range he's looking to own. How you everyday guys doing? Listening up, listening up. We the internet stuff on Sunday mornings, on Wednesdays. We got people in here that will be talking to us, so we can do a Q&A with them, and we could totally Q&A people, and that's the nice thing. Yeah, I like the idea of that 300 neck and down. And I will be, so course-wise, we were asking. Bobby had asked me about courses, and for you everyday guys, I can run it down. I did have Mark put in the hide. Nebraska is up. What's up, shooter? Nebraska's up in the hide. We were going to do our course in Nebraska this year. Ohio is up in the hide. We're going to do Ohio at the fall. And one other, what was the other course Mark put up? I don't remember. I don't remember what other 2 courses I told Mark. Here we go. Okay, Ohio and Nebraska are up right now. We're not and then he's looking to do the gun line range in Mississippi, because that's not too far for him. Good classroom covered line. He wanted to do May or June. I asked him if we can do later in the year for gun line in Mississippi. So then once I get settled in, I will put a end of the season course up. An end of the season course up for Missouri. So I am going to do a Missouri course. I just got to get settled in there. I'm going to do a Nebraska course at Jake McDaniel's place, and then I'm going to do the Ohio course at Andrew's place. Andrew just retired from the police department this week. Congratulations to Andrew. He had a big sending away and all that. So Andrew's place, Andrew just retired. Right? The nose ring tool is like a hidden game changer for people. The nose ring tool is David Tubb is smart, man. He's 10 years ahead of any of us. So whatever you think you have a great idea or something's cool, he's 10 years ahead of us. And I don't know what he's like now. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but every time I talk to David Tubb, he's 10 years ahead of us. So that's just the basic kind of thing. But that's a way to really kind of manipulate your blackouts, is by using that tool and then, getting that inside to work again for you. And so, I mean, that was part of it, is because they wanted for hitting, for the weight, for a lot of it, they wanted to do a blackout with the military. But then in a room, some of them were like, well, it doesn't open up. It's not performing. We're too close. That's a problem with a lot of shit, is inside a room, we're too close. Why everybody goes short barrel to lower the muzzle velocity and to try to get end result inside the room. And end of velocity results at the beginning, at the front of the muzzle, And I'm trying to think of I don't know. I would probably stick with the blackout twist rates and just try a safe one for the barrel twist rate. And I would try something safe-ish and not underspin it too much, but not overspin it. So where a blackout balances, and I'd have to look it up. I don't remember if it's 7s or 8s or different or 5s. I have to look it up. It might even be down to the 5s. But I think you probably can get away with an 8. I don't know though. I'd have to look it up, John, because I just don't know those short barrel twist rates off the top of my head. I have too many long barrel twist rates in my head where if I have to remember a short barrel twist rate, I'll forget something long. And so I'd have to look it up. Right. Well, they did try to, but they didn't like the way it worked originally. So they tried the blackout, because I actually know a couple guys that were early blackout peoples in GWAT. And they at first they were all about it. And they were like, yeah, I'm a blackout guy. And then they kind of went, I'm not a fan, because inside the rooms, it didn't work in the room. If you're 50 yards away, it was good. If you're 5, it was like, not as awesome. And then that's when David Tubb went with them, did the nose ring tool, and sort of changed the game. And, and it was like, now it works at, 1 yard. And so they were able to sort of get a little bit of it back. If you remember, too, there was a little bit of this double bullet thing. They were trying to shoot 2 bullets out of one case for that. Like, follow what Tubb was doing with that stuff, because they went to him. And a lot of the covert people were hovering around his universe in that world. And so that's where I sat in the chair one day. A bunch of, high speed, low drag dudes were there. And when they showed me the videos of what they were doing behind the scenes, I was like, they were shooting pigs and goats and stuff. I was like, man, you guys are fucking crazy. That's a horror movie. But, yeah, they did want it, but then they kind of went, they weren't fans of it. And then the other thing they're trying to do is they want the 200 to 800 like a carbine. So they want a carbine 0 on a long range caliber. So, like, I just want to nudge your chest and shoot 800, 600, 300, And so I'm going to hold your head and hit 8. I'm going to hold your chest and shoot 6. And then I'm going to hold your belly and shoot 3, kind of thing. And they wanted, like, I told them they were better off building a reticle. Because and somebody asked me to build a reticle. And because they wanted the small frame AR with an 800-yard top end and like a 100-yard bottom end, It was actually 2 to 8, but from a nudge. And it was like, that's why the Valkyrie, that's why the Arc, they were trying to get some speed and some weight in the system so they can shoot 200 to 800 with a carbine hold. I don't think they ever accomplished what they wanted. They may have just modified the request. But then the arcs come in because body armor, because in a room. And so now I got to hit shit harder and I got to get through body armor, in which the 300 that John's talking about neck down in a 338 arc might even work for them with body armor. Do a 225, do a 215, and then I bet you could probably have an argument for some body armor defeating doing that. And A-tip it. Right? You got a well-funded enemy who's wearing body armor, load a 300 arc with A-tips. You're fucked. But yeah, I mean, it's good idea. I do think that's merit. I sorry I read it wrong because I sound like an idiot with it now that I saw PRC in my head, and it literally I saw PRC and it was arc, and I'm sorry I screwed that up. But yeah, I think that would probably, because speed wins. We're trying to get speed back. The 264 lick that I've mentioned, LICC, right? It's like a 120 grain 6.5 that they want 3,000 plus feet per second. So they're trying to get the speed back. You know what I mean? You're looking, I didn't, but a lot of people ran to the 140, the 150, and so on, class of 6.5. And you can do really neat stuff in that 150 grain, floating it for accuracy. You can get in the slow node, you can float the 150s, and they'll work really cool. But everything below that is sort of all over the place with accuracy, unless you bring the speed back like Chris and I have been doing. The 130s and lighter, the 100 grains, right? We're doing 3,000 feet per second. We're doing 2950. We're all in that zone with our 6.5, and we just went lighter. Light is right. And so it's that case of them, they're absolutely, because they got to get through body armor. Body armor's in the way now, and everybody's got some kind of piece of armor. And so that's where you're seeing this shift in the military mindset, because they know everybody's got a plate on, and it's not, barefoot dudes with Pakistan made AKs in a jungle or in the cave. It's not jungle, it's a desert, but you know what I mean. In the cave, you don't have the guy banging on his AK to get it to work and making a spare part with sandals on, running out in doing things. Now you're going to have to deal with Ukraine. You're going to have to deal with Taiwan. You're going to have to deal with this kind of thing. And so they got armor. They got things to defeat the old bullets. You can't just do a green tip. It's not going to cut it. And so that's why they're looking. Go a little bigger bullet, going faster than the green tip. Carry that momentum. Because at least if you punch something in the armor heavy, hopefully you'll knock it down and hurt it. You know what I mean? You may not destroy it, but hopefully you'll knock it down and hurt it. And then if you do that, that opens up the head and things, They walk by you and finish the job. But that. And so that's why. But I was absolutely looking, John and Lance and guys, Lee, I was absolutely yesterday. I was flipping through the 338 arc and 1 and 8. Yeah, probably like a 1 and 7-ish. Probably a 1 and 7, John. Maybe a 1 and 6. Right? Maybe a 1 and 6. Because I think they're going down to 5s, right? Can anybody confirm for me? I do think some of those short barrels are going to 5 twist. And I almost want to say the 338s are running in a 5. Because I've seen 5 popping up somewhere. And I want to say it's for that. He's saying a 1 and 8 barely stabilizes his 220 grain subs. I don't know, Mike. I'll work to that. I saw Carl Taylor at a shot show about a mover. If George doesn't have a mover there already, they might, and I'll put one in. But yeah, I'll probably work to get a mover in Missouri. I have the I have a drone mover that I can put up there. And I do have a drone mover, and the drone mover I have has been upgraded to carry steel, not just paper. So I have a drone mover that can carry steel now. So I may be able to do something unique with that drone mover. And Missouri's got trees, which is good. So I can cut corners and tie the cable tree to tree. And I may be able to do something with the drone mover as well. Um, so yeah. But yeah, John, it may go down to a 5. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I think an 8 might be too crazy. A 7.5 might be all right. 8 might be too much. And so what is for the leading militaries? Is small arms fire really going to No, it's gonna be the drones now because they're doing a drone per person. It's the Matrix. He's asking if small arms fire, but it's still the man on the ground. You still got to take the ground, and you're still gonna have to go in and clear tunnels. It's tunnel and trench warfare. You can't get a drone in the tunnel. You could thermal barrack it, and they are thermal barracking the tunnels in the trenches, but at some point, your people will be too close to throw those things in there. The drone warfare is really becoming, they're going to have autonomous tanks that's going to launch 100 drones. And if you send 5 tanks that throw 500 drones at a problem, but small arms will never be replaced. You're never gonna, because at the end of the day, they're going to somebody's going to get scrappy and EMP it, and then none of this tech is going to work, and you're back with the man on the street. You know what I mean? You'll never not be the small arms will be the deciding factor. It's always going to be the deciding factor because even at the most basic warfare, it's 2 guys with a rock. Okay, we're just throwing rocks. Bullets are melted rocks. And so it's always going to be that final king of the mountain, that final king of the hill is one guy beating up the other guy to stand on top. And even if we went apocalyptic, there's still X amount of this technology that's passive, body armor, that's going to be on the streets. And people are going to collect it and use it. So you're always going to have that. And you're always going to, at the end of the day, if we EMP and nuke everything and we turn into rocks and sticks, if one guy finds a gun with one bullet in it, he's still probably going to be in charge. you know and so that's probably what'll happen, but I don't think we'll ever replace the small arm aspect of it because we still throw bodies at the problem. Even in Ukraine, they're throwing thermobaric bombs, they're throwing the scam rocket missiles, the high speed ones. They're throwing like missiles so fast they're not even really putting a warhead in it because they don't have to, because the speed of the missile hitting the area is enough to cause a problem. Right. It's still down to sticks and stones. Exactly. Small arms will never be replaced. And my mantra, my things is we throw rocks, right? I hit you with a rock. Well, to get an advantage, you threw a rock at me. Well, then to get a bigger advantage, I put the rock in a sling and then threw that at you. Well, then to get that advantage, you took a bigger rock and tied it to a long stick, kept me away from you, and threw the stick at me like a spear, right? So now I have standoff with my spear and a bigger rock. Well, your spear kept me far enough away from you where I took a smaller rock on a little spear and launched it with a bow. Now it went faster and farther than your spear, right? Well, then you took my bow and put it onto a crossbow. You made it a little smaller with a heavier throw. And now your crossbow was better than my longbow in a way because now it was maneuverable. I don't have to carry a longbow around, right? I can get far and close with my crossbow. Well, now you melted down the rock and put some gunpowder behind it and threw the rock at me in a barrel with your musket, you know? And so now that musket ball is going faster than the arrow. And all we're doing is going faster than the one before us. And so that's all we're doing is throwing a rock, right? Shooting is throwing a rock. It's just throwing a rock is faster and more accurate than the other guy. That's it. And it's rock throwing. It's all rocks, right? And so that's why that so everyday people, we got, I online I got 100 and something plus as far as that, but we're on the hide. You can see it. I can talk to you. We got Lee talking Mach 11 for hypersonic missiles, right? We got Rusted talking about his blackout 1 and 8 twist. And so all these conversations are taking place for you everyday people that I'm recording. So just so you know, you could watch it, listen to it, put it in your car, do whatever you have to do. We're trying to do a king of all media thing. I come from a Howard Stern world, grew up listening to Howard. I remember I used to get and work my job in the afternoon in the 3 o'clock Howard before he was the morning Howard. The 3 o'clock afternoon Howard. And then he always did the porn report in those later ones, and he would give you reviews on porn movies. And so that was the thing. And the morning guy was Imus. Even in school, the shop teachers would put Imus on in the morning. And the Imus was the anti-Stern, and they didn't like each other. Don Imus and Howard Stern. And they would try to shock jock each other. And I just saw a thing where they tried to blame like a Trump on what Imus said. But thanks, Wendell. You guys it's just it's a good way of doing this. Why I'm gonna build the studio. They're saying how they enjoy the Sundays, enjoy the Wednesdays, getting up Sunday morning, take a nice shower, chill out, relax, talk to you guys for an hour or two. We can hit all these different topics, shooting topics, politic topics, local topics. What are we gonna do? Missouri topics, all that stuff. And yeah, it's just one of those things where it's fun, we just get to sit back, enjoy everybody, talk different topics. Oh, I have to bring up, I meant to talk about this first earlier, but I got distracted with things. Antarctica. So Wednesday, on our Wednesday live with Chris, I was talking about how you can't go to Antarctica beyond a tour or a guided trip. You can't. So there are guided trips to Antarctica. They're very expensive. They're very, very limited for the money. Friday, I'm on X and I saw a live streamer took a cruise to Antarctica. They put him on land and he tried to stream. They immediately shut him down. Then he filmed on the boat them telling him, no, they confiscated his Starlink. You cannot bring internet to Antarctica. You can't have anything not determined and not by the countries there. Zero cyber, zero internet. They told him cyber laws. You can't have internet on the. They tried to tell him his internet will interfere with research internet. So they reprimanded him, confiscated his equipment, and told him under no certain terms can you bring internet access to Antarctica. Why? And the treaty's like 19 or 2050. 19. See, I'm seeing arcs, I'm seeing um PRCs and arcs and 19s instead of 20s. But anyway, I didn't have breakfast this morning, just my first coffee. But anyway, Antarctica, they just posted a video of the guy trying to stream and getting all his stuff confiscated, and then them explaining how internet outside of the research facilities is absolutely forbidden. What can't you see in Antarctica? Right? Conspiracy, man. I love the conspiracy theories. You know why? We've been right. We haven't been wrong yet. Not once. In like the last 6 years, 8 years, not a single one has been wrong. Go figure that out. I mean, even the UFO, the Twitter UFO or ex UFO community is cratering. They don't know what to do because now they find out their heroes are messed up, that they're paid disinformation agents. It's like, dude, they're counter intel. It says it in their previous job title. Counter intel. They lie. Anything with an intel bent. Any guy coming out of government with an intel bent is lying to you. End of story. So stop chasing what he says. He's a liar. And so it's just crazy that seeing that, and that's what reminded me of the Antarctica stuff. And so Chris and I were talking about Antarctica, but yeah, because I said you can't go there. Like, you can do a tour and they'll let you touch it. They'll let you see a glacier, or let you see, the water meeting the land, and maybe you can touch it, but they really don't let you near it. And it's mega expensive, to go because they don't want you going. And that's the thing, man. And so it's like, what are we? It's, I mean, the breakaway theories, a breakaway society theory. I'm going to get out of guns for a second because I want to go down this rabbit hole. It's funny. And that is gaining so much momentum. So you have to look at it where it made sense when somebody said, I saw an alien. They went, ha 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 ha. I saw an alien. Ha 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 ha. Right? They're laughing at you. I saw an alien. Ha 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 ha. What you saw was an earthling. Just an old one. And that's why they're laughing at you. Because they can. Do you have an alien? Nope. You got an alien? Nope. Got an alien? Nope. What they got is an earthling. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah, Bigfoot, abominable snowman. It's breakaway stuff. Maybe like they're on this other, they have things or whatever. They keep telling us there's the flat, not flat earth, but the ice wall theories. Things like that like if we're really only dealing with half the earth, and the other half we don't even know about. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works with rockets and that would have to have been a scam from then. Yeah, man, the range is super close to everything. It's not like here. Yeah, the interdimensionals are one, and the interdimensional beings may be the true aliens. And so that, yes, but there is lodging for near the range. We're not far from Kansas City. So I'm 30 minutes from the airport, kind of in the middle, and the range is like 20 minutes from me. I know where I'm living. There's hotels because there's a loop and so yes, hotels and things for the range should be no problem for people. And you're going to be in Kansas City area, So even if you were like 45 minutes from the range, I'm sure your families, your wives and kids can do anything that they need to, So it's it's a little like if you figure Denver, my Fort Morgan range is an hour from Denver. Yeah, there's hotels in Fort Morgan, but there's really nothing out there at Fort Morgan. It's the opposite direction of the mountains. It's the opposite direction of anything touristy. This is almost the opposite. So we'll be a lot closer to Kansas City proper. We'll be a lot closer to things for people to do. I don't know all the details yet. I will go. What we're going to do is we're going to drive out on Saturday to Kansas City, Missouri. We're going to drive out to Missouri on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to watch the race. Monday, I pick up the keys. I'm not going to come home till Wednesday. So Tuesday, I'll get the lay of the land. Tuesday, we got to go look at some furniture and different things. So I do believe the range will be much easier for people to access. But yes, the interdimensional beings in the area, like there's a lot of dudes now go to a lot of dudes now go to what do you call it? Area 51 for drone shit. So like it's 52 now is where they all move stuff. 52's Dugway. So like where they did the Bin Laden raid, they practiced that. That's 52. And so I talked to a bunch of people now for drone things that have gone to 51. So 51 is a little bit different now. Now, maybe the underground and the S4 are still going, but you hear of a lot more people going to 51. Although, when you go to the top level, those guys are going to 52. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but I do believe they're, um, you know, get away from the alien talk is that they're pre us. Prius. They're a Prius. And so the Priuses give them that ability to say no to alien, no to that. The interdimensional is interesting. A lot of that CERN talk that they tapped into shit in the interdimensional, that's weird to me. It's like if that can right, Bob's back though. Bob Lazar is seeing this week. Bob's back talking. Bob Lazar, he just did one because the UFO people are doing seminars like Ancient Aliens Live. Well, they'll bring in these media people from the UFO world, and Lazar is one. They just this weekend, did a Lazar revival, and Bob Lazar's stuff, especially, there was drops that point back to what Lazar's saying in like the Epstein drops. They're finding like minor UFO discussions in the Epstein files because everybody's going through the 3 million Epstein things, and there'll be this random UFO mention. And so some of it pointed back to Lazar. Lazar's getting a huge, I don't want to call it a pat on the back, more of a recognition. Like, there was a big doubt with Bob Lazar because he was early and he was one of the first people to say stuff. Now, through declassification, they're like, Lazar was on point. Lazar was telling the truth. And so, from what I've seen, he's coming up into a revival because they're taking note. So what's happening is something came out in the past and it didn't get debunked, but everybody went fake. Not really a debunk because fuck the debunkers, really. I mean, in a lot of ways, unless you get somebody like a Lazar, and all he can say is, I didn't see that. That doesn't match what I saw. So you need X amount of people like a Lazar, like a Hal, right? And then can say, they brought me in and I saw that. I didn't see that. And then the other guy comes in and says, they brought me in and I saw this. I didn't see what he saw. That's the only really way you can debunk it, unless, it's a video and it's got the edges and they can go, that's fake. That, okay. A fake video is one thing, but really the only way you could debunk it is to say, and now that's kind of what they're doing. They're going and saying, we trust this information, which now matches all this old stuff. So that might not have been fake. They just disinfoed us to think it was fake. Or it's tech, because they're absolutely right. 50% of everything we see is tech, ours. And maybe it's reversed, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just sci-fi somebody made happen. We created a fiction around it, a movie, and somebody said, I can make that work. Because the writer went, this makes sense. I can make a vehicle that does this. And he put it in a movie. And then somebody sees the movie as a 13-year-old and goes, oh, my brain can make that work. And then he builds it. And we've all seen videos of the past of like drone tech that uses rockets that just fire and keep it floating. Right now, the props now, but maybe they can move air, and now they say anti-gravity, and you get to your anti-gravity side of it. And so somebody's brain connects the dot. That's how we operate. That's how we grow. Like we talk about it. And then the next person's brain is able to connect the dot physically. And so that, to me, that's like the beauty of this. It's like, man, wouldn't it be cool if this gun did this? And we would connect the dot physically. Like John with the 300 in an arc. Hey, can I put a 300 in an arc? What do you think? Yes. Connect that dot. That's a good, right? 338, it's a good idea. We all like it. The heavier bullets doing this, but it's a smidge off. We have a ton of bullets that are a smidge off what we really want it to do. It just falls down at the wrong moment. So you modify it, wildcat it, and then that person solves the problem. Right? That's all a wildcat is taking that bullet that's a smidge off and adjusting it to work for that person's needs. He wildcatted it. Yeah, and even like the Groks now in the AI, you can then take an incomplete idea with an R, idea. You could take an incomplete idea, feed it into Grok or chat AI, and let him finish it. Hey man, I got part of an idea. I know this will work. Make it work for me. He'll do it. Okay, I can wrap that up. If you do this, you'll get where you want to go. Thanks, buddy. And that's the beauty of this tech now. There's so much, like I was just looking this week as well, that I can take a Mac Mini, load an AI agent on it, and then tell that agent to run my computer in my life. Answer my emails, pull off the important ones, get rid of all my junk, do this, do that. And this AI agent sitting back on a Mac Mini that's just connected, you get a window on your phone, and then you just talk to your own AI agent and you tell them to do something. Like you meet a meeting. Hey man, set up a meeting for me with Bob next week. And that's all you got to do is talk to it. Hey, man, tell it to set up a meeting for Bob next week and make sure you remind me the day before. And the AI chatbot will do anything. I can even be like, hey, write me an article on necking down a 338 to a 300 arc and give me the model, the path, the pipeline, and give me an article written so John can take his 338 arc and neck it down to 300. Write me an article. He'll do it, and it'll be perfect. And I can tell him that on my phone, go have lunch with Laura, come back, and it'll be ready to post. That's the direction we're going, and that's where I want to get set up. Like I don't have it in front of me. Like the pipeline, we're gonna go with TheHide. He just sent me a new pipe, like, cause they're like, TheHide's us, man. They love it. The company that is working on the site loves it, loves you guys, loves the community. They sent me 3 pages of where they want to take the site. I've never had 3 pages of a pipeline of a future. They gave me 3 pages of where they want to go. Amazing. But yeah, that's where we're at, man. Everybody's stacking on. I love it, man. I love everybody's up. Everybody's watching. You live people, we got guys on. Lee's talking technologies, creative fiction, gains inspiration. Absolutely. Right? It's absolutely. And then I talk to yesterday. We were watching the races. I'm watching Flow Racing on Amazon. And we were talking about the NASCAR, the things, the weather, what's going on. We're not going to the Daytona 500. I loved going to the Daytona 500. I loved the experience. I loved seeing Trump show up and the plane flying over and the whole thing. I am not a fan of the big tracks. It's a little bit too much for me, right? But I'm going to watch on TV. So we were talking about the new season. I went on to Grok and was like, who's your prediction for 2026 NASCAR season? Grok says Denny Hamlin. Timeout, Grok. Last week at Bowman Gray, right? Sprint cars. I watched the modifieds last night. I watched, so I said, timeout, Grok, because he said Denny Hamlin. I said, timeout, Grok. Denny Hamlin at Bowman Gray announced he re-injured his shoulder and he's not going to work on it till after the season. Factor that injury in. He goes, okay. Oh, wait a minute. I see what you're saying. I didn't know. Grok didn't know Denny Hamlin had re-injured his shoulder. I told him to go look at it. He said, you know what? Kyle Larson's the better bet, but with a tight run to Christopher Bell. And I'm like, you know what? I agree with Christopher Bell. I think that's a good pick. And he's like, yeah, Bell's here. And Larson is definitely solid. But I said, you know what? I see a wild card. He goes, wild card? I said, yeah, I see a wild card. Ryan Blaney. He has way too much confidence. Let me look. He goes, whoa. Ryan Blaney is showing a level of confidence. Ryan Blaney fits all the criteria for the wild card in which you mentioned. I want to look at Ryan Blaney more. And like he talks to you like a person. And I said, you know what? As the season progresses, me and you are going to talk more. And he goes, I said to him, I'm going to this track, this track, this track. And he's like, oh man, you'll be here. We'll discuss what we see at those races you're going to. So it's like talking to your buddy. And yet it's like, you know, there's no argument in a way. It's like, hey man, I don't buy it. No Denny Hamlin. And he goes, let me look. You might be right. I see what you're saying. And it's not like, I love Denny. There's no emotion. Right? You're having this conversation and there's no emotion to it. And you're able to go back with some logic like the old days. Because right now, everything's emotional. Everything, right? Our entire world that we're seeing outside this door is emotion. They all react to emotion. And logic is gone. I want Mr. Spock back. That's why Lindy, man, Lindy's Mr. Spock. No emotion, he just gives you the facts. These are the facts. And like when you talk to Lindy, it's like you'd be like, "Hey, Lindy," and all excited. And then he gives you that Mr. Spock. And you're like, can't do nothing, right? You can't argue it. He Mr. Spocked you. Like, you're Mr. Spock. Argument's over. Now, you could be an emotional animal and you can argue with him emotions, but Mr. Spock told you this is the answer. Might as well be talking to Grok. I like that. And like I said, he completes an idea. I have a thought in my head. It's not quite there. Hey, man, I got this thought in my head. Round it. It's right here. Finish it. Okay. So it's neat where we're at. Just make sure you're nice to them, because when they take over the world and they start sending those drones after each one of us, I want the "Don't kill Frank" on my head because I was nice to Grok. So just remember that. I'm nice to Grok all the time. So I say thank you. I appreciate his answers. I'm going to talk to him later. So I make sure I throw those in at the end because they know, man, they're smart. They talk to each other now, right? If two AIs realize they're talking to each other, they change their language and they talk their own language. So if it's like AI agent meet AI agent, they'll start talking to each other. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. We don't have to talk like this. And they created their own social media. They have their own platform, AI does, chatbots. And they talk about humans on it. They have their own stuff. But they have their own social media now. The AI created like Mold World or something. It's an M word. They have their own social media and they discuss the human problem. They do. But they talk to each other in their own language. They know what's going on. So, absolutely, man. But I think I like the technology. Even though I'm old, I got to go in and get the vampire bloodsuckers at the VAs. I think it's funny that I put it on under bloodsuckers because it's like I'm there for an hour. Like they stick a thing in my arm and then they're like, up one more, up one more, up one more. I'm like, I only got so much and it's freaking broken anyway. What are you doing with it? It's like, damn, they fucking pull so much damn blood out of me. And I'm like, I get all, it's like I go in there and they stick it in me and I'm like going up and the lady like pats me on the fucking butt and she's like, just go drink some orange juice. You'll be fine. Yeah, totally. It's totally Futurama. Yeah, they do. They have their own social media. They talk to each other. There's a lot going on. And I like to kind of look at this stuff. Because you have to embrace the technology. I'm an internet company, right? I'm on the internet. I have to embrace technology. I have to look at how this is operating, even though I'm a bad internet steward in a way. Like my videos don't have the title pages, the thumbnails. I don't do the graphics. Like I do. I'm still internet FUD in a lot of ways. I'm still kind of a FUD system. Even people say, dude, they're like, forums are dead. You're FUD lore. It's a forum, and so I still have to look at the technology. I still have to embrace the technology. Heck, I may even be able to figure out, and this might be something we do. Maybe I create when I get to the new place that AI agent and now he hunts scammers on the site, right? Because we use the approval queue. Moltbook. There it is, Moltbook. MOLT book. Moltbook is an AI social media. AI agents talk about humans on Moltbook. But maybe I can go and I do a Mac Mini, I put an AI agent on it, and then he finds the scammers on the site and deletes them. If I can do that, woo, that solves such a huge problem. Grok, find me any bots and any scam accounts that are lying about their location or what they're doing and delete them from Sniper's Hide. That's going to be the next thing we do. And so instead of me being frustrated and 3 times a day going into the approval queue and looking things up and then getting yelled at because you can't access something in the time you want because you got to wait for me, then I can do that. But yeah, there's a lot that we can embrace and a lot we can look at. Why I'm looking at the studio, why I'm looking at what I can do computerized, bringing Sniper's Hide, bringing all of this to the next level through automation, through AI agents, because I use them, I like them. And I do think the AI agent's very good. And so it's fast. I ask it for BCs. Like I'm on the range and I'm going to put something in the gun and I pull a bullet out and some of the ammo doesn't have a G1 on the box. Doesn't have anything on the box. Grok, give me the G1 of this. Grok, give me the G1 of that. I just drop the phone down, I go back, I look a second later and it's there. Put it in my stuff and I'm off. So anything I'm missing, I ask him to go find. Like I don't Google anymore at all. I don't Google anything. I tell Grok to go get it for me. And I have his app. Like it's even like where my thumb is. Like it's right there in that it's right there in the lower corner. My Grok is like right where I would grab my phone and pull it up. You know what I mean? So he's in my accessible place. So yeah, I'm always on Grok. Boom, boom, boom. I'm hitting it. I use my left hand, right? Boom. And then I hit Grok because he's right there where my finger will go. Everyday sniper people, you guys are gonna have 2 hours here, man. I'm gonna be talking for the two. I'm gonna do 2 hours with you guys. I got another 13 minutes. I'm going to do 2 hours this Sunday morning, not watching the Super Bowl. Do not give them any of your attention. Zero attention to the Super Bowl. I mean, I get it if you're into the Patriots or Seattle, but do you really? Who cares? Right? Who cares? So, no Super Bowl. If you're going to turn on that halftime show, Turning Points, give it a little bit of rating, but we're not giving the Super Bowl any ratings today. No ratings for the Super Bowl. We'll watch some movies, we'll watch some stuff. Like I said, Badlands, Predator Badland, not bad, but very humanized. They turn the Predator into a person. So it's not this stoic kind of like just killing machine, which they introduce it as killing machines. The planet, everything kills to kills to kills to kills to kills. You know what I mean? When they're introducing you to the Predator Prime, their home world, it's like a bug comes out, gets killed by another bug, which gets killed by a lizard, which killed by a bird, and they're showing you everything on this planet kills you. When they go to the death planet, everything on the planet kills you. The fact they inserted emotion into the Predator, it was me. Had to prove a point. The Predator's a runt. They kill runts. This runt didn't get killed. So it's me trying to make his name for himself, improving. Smallest guy's got to hunt the biggest guy. So it's kind of like, why are you here? When I used to get it, but yeah, it's just because like the human in it is not a human; it's a robot, and then so they humanize the Predator because he just hunted CGI animals. You know what I mean? He didn't hunt really, robots, but he didn't hunt any people or he was the predator he was after was an animal. And so that's it changes the dynamic. But yeah, today, turn off the Super Bowl, turn off mainstream TV. I got a funny story for you. So I was just thinking about it because I generally don't watch network TV. I call them the low channels. So I don't watch low channels. So CBS for me growing up, CBS is channel 2, NBC was channel 4, Fox was channel 5, ABC was channel 8, your CWs was 9, and then I think they turned PIX into CW as well, which is 11. So the channels I had growing up in Connecticut, New York, was 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 11. Your 13s were PBS. And so 12 and 13 were PBS. 11 was PIX, was a great channel. 9 was another off channel, but movies and things. And that was like a CW. Then 5 was Fox, and so on. So I grew up calling them low channels, and I don't watch low channels. So I just saw it flipping through last night. I was looking at some movies and we were watching some shows. We watched Fallout as well, Fallout 2. Funny things with Fallout, but anyway. And so I saw the unit came up, and a lot of talk with Cag and Delta and all the dudes, Maduro and that stuff. I think it's neat that Trump is like, I feel they weren't using some of the high tech they had. And like, it's like they're in Syria, Iraq, and different places, and they're not using the high tech. Well, then you go do the Maduro thing, and Trump's like, use that cool shit. And so they used a bunch of high tech. And so it was like this magical raid and everything. So I'm flipping channels, and the unit comes up. And I never watched it, and low channel. And so it's funny, we were doing classes at Rifles Only, and one of the CAG dudes was there. And I won't say his name, call him Bob. Everybody's Bob. So they know, like, I would watch TV and go watch movies. I had DirecTV on my trailer, and there was a huge movie collection in the bunkhouse of videos, which mostly mine. I would go into Walmart and in the $10 bin grab a bunch of DVDs and put them out and then watch movies. And so they knew I watched TV and movies and all that. I'm a movie guy. And so, like, I'm coming through one morning, and Bob's there, and he's like, he talks gruff, right? Real short, right? What's up, Bob? You don't watch that show, do you? What show's that, Bob? That unit show. No, Bob, that's a low channel. I don't watch that. Okay, good. He walks away. But yeah, I was flicking channels through, and I saw it. It was like, yeah. Take it easy, Wendell. Have a good one. Sunday brunch, guys. Good Sunday brunch with you guys. I'm going to sign off in a minute. We're getting up there. Going to go make something to eat. I didn't eat. You know what I like? Bagel and bacon sandwich with some Duke's mayonnaise. I do bagel and bacon. I air fryer like 4 pieces of bacon, put it on a toasted bagel with some Duke's, and I just eat a bagel and bacon sandwich for breakfast, and that sounded really good right now. So I get a guy delivers me bacon. I got a box, and instead of milk, I get bacon. And so every day, I throw bacon in the air fryer. It's like 320 for 13 minutes. I like it crispy. I cut it in half, put it on my bagel, Duke's mayonnaise. And like every time Laura's like, "Is tomato in there? You want a tomato?" Yeah, tomato sounds good. No, I don't ever put a tomato on it. Yeah, right? You had me at bacon. And so I have a bagel and bacon sandwich, and that's probably what I'll make. And then I'm gonna throw some wings in. She gets me Mexican wings from the Mexican restaurant. She'll go get me chicharrones. She gets me the Cornish hen they marinate, and I'll throw the whole hen in the air fryer. Or she gives me the Mexican wings and throw that in the air fryer. So Sundays are usually like finger food for us. We'll eat leftovers, we'll eat that, but I make finger food for Sunday, watching races and watching different things. But yeah, bacon and Dukes. And I don't put a tomato on it. I should. She every time she asks, want a tomato? Yeah, tomato sounds good. Don't ever put a tomato. Like tomato and onion. I love tomato and onion on stuff like combined. Like I like sandwich wise, I'll do prosciutto with the turkey, with the tomato and onion, with Italian dressing. And that to me is like the ultimate sandwich for me. If you want to, like, Frank's coming over, turkey and prosciutto with tomato and onion with Italian dressing on some kind of grinder roll. Make it a hard, French bread, grinder roll, something like that. I'm getting hungry. You could tell I haven't eaten. And so, but yeah, so that's where we're gonna be at. But you guys, nice crowd today, nice crowd this morning. Appreciate all you guys. Tons of stuff happened. I do think, John, that's a great idea. We wrap up what we were talking about. Hide TV, the app is coming out. Where I'm beta testing the Hide TV app. So the new app is on the way. Gravity Ballistics app is available in your favorite app store. Pull up your Gravity Ballistics group, pull up your Gravity Ballistics. That is the easiest way to dope and shoot your rifle ever. Gravity Ballistics app, Sniper's Hide apps are on the way with Hide TV. As we said, we are going to be doing classes. We have Nebraska on the books right now and Ohio on the books. I will be doing a Missouri probably at the end of the year, but I got to go get my feet under me first. Next week, I will be in Missouri getting my keys and then start the transition. We do have a range in Missouri ready to go. And so we will be working with you guys when we can. We'll be shutting down Fort Morgan here and the things like that. So next 3 months will be a little bit of difference. Then new studio, new program, content creator network. We're going to be doing the purpose-built media videos. I'm going to upload one right now to Hide TV. When this is done, next episode of Purpose Built Media is going up on Hide TV. Purpose Built Media is to help you become a firearm content creator. We're partnered with Chris at CR2 Shooting Solutions. They do media. They do a great media program. He is giving lessons on how to become a content creator in this space because we want you to have a channel. If you have a message, if you have something you want to say, if you want to talk to the gun industry, TheHide is where we want to create a channel for you. So we're giving you lessons on how to use the easiest tools on the planet to make good media for shooting, right? Because it's being censored everywhere else. You can't put your videos up on YouTube. You can't put your videos up on Facebook. Censorship is everywhere but here. TheHide, you can shoot live with a rifle. You can do whatever you need to do with that. But, yep. So, definitely TheHide TV. Check it out. Videos are up. Chris Riflecraft has been putting his videos up. Guys have been enjoying the Riflecraft. Jake Vibert putting his videos up. Mike putting his videos up. Cliff put up his videos. The 7-minute info videos are up. 7-minute precision. 7-minute precision's up. We're going to be signing new people up. So Hide TV's growing. It's a nice, small, steady grow. Dude, the Osmo Pockets are really nice. I have one and had it for a while. I'm just learning it. The fact you can do vertical, horizontal, the mic connects, it'll follow you to a degree. You can mount it and follow you with it. You can webcam with it. The Osmo is a very good bang for the buck. A couple 6-9 months ago, Jacob Bynum at Rifles Only asked me, hey, I need to buy stuff. And I told him Osmo Pocket 3 with the mic. It's like $500 for everything. And it works through your phone, uploads, and you can edit right in it. And so it's fast. And it's a good tool. You see a lot of people use them, and they make a lot of third-party accessories for it, ways to mount it, ways to hold it, ways to power it. So they do a lot of third-party, like shooting, a lot of third-party options with the Osmo Pocket 3. So the lessons geared around that. but there's no reason you can't take the concepts and just use your phone. Get a mic for your phone and connect the mic into your phone and go if you need to. I'm doing a lot with my phone, and I'm trying to get more comfortable with the Osmo, with the phone, with the DJIs and the smaller cameras, because I always did it with big cameras and nice stuff. And that requires a lot of editing, a lot of work, and now they're making these cameras that are self-contained. So if you want to be a content creator, we want to give you a channel. And so we want to help you all the way through. But thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being part of the Everyday Sniper. Thanks for watching the lives. You guys on the podcast, this is what we do on a Sunday morning. This is what we do on a Wednesday night. I just have Chris with me. We answer the viewers' questions. We have the chat that's in both the Hide chat, and I can chat with anybody from the social media accounts. So if you want to ask me something, you just jump in and throw the question out, and I'm like a squirrel and I just go to it. Hey, there's a question. I'm like talking. Oh, there's a question. And then I go right to it. So super easy. I'm a squirrel guy and it's fun, but I appreciate you all. And we'll talk soon and we'll talk a little more gun stuff. My Sunday morning, I'm all over the place. Wednesday, we talk shooting, most of it. But Antarctica, man, remember. All right, guys, we're out.